Okay, so before we get into today's unboxing video, there's something that you need to understand about me. And that is that I am a 1980s kid, through and through. And I could go on for 20 minutes about what that means and what that doesn't mean, but it really comes down to this. And that is when my friends and I were not in the basement playing Dungeons and Dragons or playing Atari or even Nintendo, we were outside trying to kill each other with sticks. And as a result of that, I love Defenders of the Realm. The 2010 Love Letter to 1980s Kids by Eagle-Gryphon Games. Yes, I understand that it is really just a fantasy version of Pandemic. Yes, I understand that it is objectively a very, very flawed game mechanically, but I love it. I love it so much. I don't only have the base game, I have the Dragon expansion, which is full of mini expansions that Eagle-Gryphon has put out over the years. I have a bag of minis, upgraded minis of Dragonkin. Look at that right there. And I've got these blob things, and I've got these orc things, and I've got these undead demon things. I've got this whole massive bag of them. Today, we are going to be unboxing the Champions and Catacombs expansion by Eagle-Gryphon Games, which doesn't come in its own box. It comes with this new board and these decks of cards, and I will forever buy everything that I can get my hands on in terms of all things Defenders of the Realm. So, let's go to the table and let's see what is in here that I can unbox and then put into this box here, and this bag here, and this box here to continue to make Defenders of the Realm the game system, flawed though it may be, that it is. Alright, here is the Eagle-Gryphon Games Defenders of the Realm 2022 expansion pack. A whole bunch of stuff here, and it doesn't, like I said, does not come with a box. Take this tape off without being awful. Okay, so we have these 3 decks of cards and some tokens, it looks like, and a game board, and this little ship. So let's look at the ship model here. It's adorable. All right. Now, I'm going to actually set these cards aside real quick, and we'll bust out this game board. I'm going to put this coffee out of the way as well. So, it just says it's a revised board. So it says right here, revised game board for the Defenders of the Realm base game featuring an updated look with new location labels and roads on the map. So let's see exactly what that means. It is single-sided, you can see there. And I apologize, my camera is a little too close for you to see everything all at once here. But you can see, you're looking at 90% of the board right here. So you have Monarch City in the middle here, and you have the inns, and yeah, this board is fine. It's very similar to the old board. It's pretty, it pops. Yeah, I'm definitely not sad about having a second board for Defenders of the Realm. Not sure which board I'll end up using. Have to compare the two side by side. Yeah, why not? All right. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. And I'll just quickly come on. Okay, so we have some tokens here as well. Stand by. So open up all these cards here. All right. So, right away, over in this pack of cards here, says here, the Hero's Calling expansion, and we have some tokens. So we have a wolf, a war token, a raven, a void walker, and a ship token. And these all punch out quite nicely. They're a little on the small side, especially this war status token. But, you know, the war status tokens have always been small, and this one's just round rather than square. They are all double-sided. So, there we go. And then, over here... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do these cards first. So, we have... in this little expansion here, we have... so, the Hero's Calling... a character building expansion for the Defenders of the Realm, and we have some setup rules. We have components right there, an illustrated itemized components list, and setup continued with Tainted Rose mini expansion and constructing a hero, combat control and movement rules, and just kind of continuation of that. So you have all the rules for that this expansion on these 3 cards right here. And then you get actually into the deck of cards. A whole bunch of stuff here, a lot of content. So here you have the hero actions, which, you know, veterans of Defenders of the Realm should be more or less familiar with. You have Rumors at the End, Heal the Land, Healing Wounds, Engage minions in combat, attack an enemy general, movement by foot, movement by horse, movement by eagle, movement by magic gate, movement build a magic gate. So these are just player aid cards, essentially. I'm really glad they did this. You don't have to pass the manual around anymore, but here are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 player aid cards for explaining all of the actions that you can take on a turn. And then, so that's really nice they did that. And we have the Hero's Calling expansion. So these cards... So we have, so Friedrich, we have a bunch of narrative here. Narrative for a number of characters. I'm not sure what all these do down here, but back to Sir Friedrich. And back to this deck. We have okay, so we have War Status card. So we, you know, we have the early war, early mid-war, late mid-war, and late war. And this is, you know, part of the base game as well. You have another War Status card here. And we have the Tainted Rose mini expansion, so rules for that, and setup for that. And then it looks like we get back to the Hero's Calling expansion, and you have these cute little envelopes here. And again, they indicate the commander, the cavalry, or the cleaver. Looks like by these different seals. So, yeah, so these are just the different abilities. And not sure what those levels mean there. I'll just go through these real quick. Spirit Walk. So just so many more ways to play and augment your characters. Fighter, Archer, Cursed Knight, Ninja, nice, Dragonkin, Fabled Legend, Trapper, Psychic, Strategist, Double Agent, Hammerlord, Warlock, Commander, Priest, Raven, Voidwalker. Am I back to the beginning now? No? Yeah, I am. So tons of different ways to augment there. Okay, and then in this deck, which are quest cards. And, you know, the base game has quest cards and the expansions have quest cards. So here are Quest of the Realm rules, but these quests are all on larger cards. Don't know if they're all the same. Repeats of older quest cards or if these are all new. But it looks like many of these quests have much more to them, actually. And they're full-size cards, which is really nice rather than the mini cards. And you clearly get 50 or 60 of them. Supply run. Yeah, you have different ways to succeed, immediate rewards. So it just looks like a much richer quest world. In Defenders of the Realm, which is great because being a cooperative game, you're like, oh, let's get together and I'll do this thing, but then people have side quests. They're like, oh, I'm going to do this other thing. So if you have these more advanced quests, there's more to do and more to get distracted by. So tons more content for you to discover on your own. We did. My friends and I and my brother as well went outside and hit each other with sticks a lot. We would actually convince our parents to take us to Toys R Us or KB Toys and buy plastic swords, and we take those home and hit each other with those until those swords broke, and then we would affix them onto sticks and hit each other with those until those broke or until they were taken away because somebody's eye was about to come out. And then we would take our sporting equipment, like this Seneca Cobra hockey stick, street hockey stick that I had, and we would hit each other with these outside in the woods. I am sure that I have hit more of my friends' body parts with this stick than I ever hit street hockey pucks or tennis balls. And actually, this is my brother's street hockey stick, and actually you can see, if I can flip this around, that it still has its Toys R Us price tag on it from some decades ago, and it was $2.99. So there's me dating myself and my brother. Let's get back to this unboxing. The Companions and Catacombs part specifically, and we have an Eagle-Gryphon Games catalog there, and we have the rules specifically for the Catacombs expansion, which is not so bad to get through. All right. Treasure room is cool. All right. And then we have this two boards, two punch boards of tokens here. We have some giant spiders, Catacombs of Darlek, a bunch of trolls, minions +1. So yeah, and these punch out no problem. All right, and then finally, in part of that Catacombs expansion, we have dungeon rooms. And we have more than just that. Okay, so we have dungeon rooms and companion cards and more dungeon rooms and relic cards. And just sorting all this out, we have more dungeon rooms. Okay. So companion cards, relic cards, and it looks like 2 different backs for dungeon rooms. So let's look at these relic cards first. So we have the Blood Amulet. Each time a general moves, you may roll 3 dice. Any die roll of 6 prevents the general from moving. Each die that is 1 through 5 causes a wound to you that cannot be blocked by armor. Okay. Magic armor. Ignore 2 wounds from minions and 3 wounds from a general. Increase hero card size by +4 cards. Yikes, that's awesome. Harp of the Gods. Move 1 active enemy general back 1 location once per game. Remove 2 on-fire tokens if Brimstone is in the game. The hero possessing the harp may move away any minions on the location to the end of the turn. Magic bow. Hero gains archery skill, able to attack minions 1 location away, adding +1 to each die rolled. May attack generals from 1 location away, but receives no die modifier. That's actually really amazing as well. Magic scroll. May be discarded to remove 1d6 +1 taint tokens from the realm. Awesome. Always needed. Flaming Sword. Add +1 to all dice roll combat with minions. Ignore general's combat skills, including Varlax. Wow, these are like super powerful. Magic Mask. Your first attack in a location with minions gains a +2 to each die rolled, and you are not subject to wounds when ending your turn with minions. Add +1 to each die rolled against generals, not Varlac. You may now enter inns and Monarch City. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to. Lantern of Time. Oh, all right. That is cool. Move the war status marker back 1 space on the track. Holy cow. The hero possessing the lantern gains 2 action tokens. So these relics are incredibly powerful, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 relics. Very cool. Then we have... Actually, let's do these companion cards here. And we won't go through all these quite as much detail. Young Eagle Rider. So these kind of look like... Yeah, these are like... Relatively bold. Wandering Barbarian. Traveling from distant lands in search of a new homestead. Once per combat, you may spend 1 action prior to attack to add +1 to all dice rolled in combat against minions. So yeah, these are like, companions. Add to the party. So there's tons more companions for you to discover there on your own, but you get a whole deck of, 30, 40 of them. Okay, so these dungeon rooms that have this yellow and kind of gem treasure back. So we have... Take 1 of the 2 treasures to combat the undead. Alright, so these are like fighting monsters. Army of minions. Sleeping Dragon, Gargoyle Guardians, Treasure Vault, Dark Depths, Riddle Guardian, oh dear. And then these dungeon rooms, looks like Quiet Quarter, all's quiet, eerily too quiet, and you advance slowly and cautiously deeper into the dungeon. No encounter in this room, advance. Quiet Quarter, okay. So you kind of have this like dungeon in the dark type deck that you're going through, maybe to get some of these baubles, and you encounter different things. Dancing Imps. So have to figure out Swarm of Rats, figure out how this dungeon deck works, how you enter a dungeon in the game, but it looks like there is this deck of cards, so there are dungeons potentially below either Monarch City or elsewhere in the realm that you can basically treasure hunt and dungeon delve in the game, potentially. I'm just guessing, I haven't read all the rules, but that is everything in the 2022 expansion of Defenders of the Realm. Yes, Defenders of the Realm is, as I've already said, inherently a flawed game mechanically. I've definitely won more games than I've lost, or lost more games than I've won. I don't know. Which one? Definitely lost more games than I've won of Defenders of the Realm, because I'm constantly pushing to make it more and more difficult. Part of me is convinced that if I had this hockey stick in the game, if I could equip one of the characters in the game with this magical hockey stick, I would surely win Defenders of the Realm every time. Not so, but this hockey stick, much like Defenders of the Realm, reminds me of my childhood in the 80s, which is what Eagle-Gryphon Games was clearly trying to do when they put this game out in 2010. This hockey stick is a sword and a magic staff and a potion of healing and all things 1970s and 1980s fantasy to me, and Defenders of the Realm will forever be a love letter to that era of my childhood. So thank you, Eagle-Gryphon Games, for continuing to support this game. I will keep buying these products. I will keep unboxing these products and showcasing these products. And that's really all I have for you on that. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment. We would love to see you online on the socials, and we'd love to see you at the gaming table as soon as possible, now that we're coming out of COVID-19. Be well. Take care, all.